Good afternoon. I'm Lucas Panzica from the 104.5 The Zone studios. After a week of joint practices, the Titans and Seahawks will face off in preseason game number 2 at Nissan Stadium on Saturday. Brian Callahan met with the media after practice yesterday and said starters will not play on Saturday against the Seahawks. Malik Willis gets the start at quarterback. The League Company countdown to kickoff hits the air at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Titans countdown starts at 5 and kickoff with Mike Keith, Coach Mack, and the rest of the Titans radio crew is at 6 at Nissan Stadium between Titans and Seahawks. Titans Talkback will take you home after the game. In NFL news, the Atlanta Falcons have signed safety Justin Simmons on a one-year deal worth $8 million, $7.5 million in guaranteed money. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Let's get to this thing as we are 19 hours away from kickoff of the Titans' second preseason game against the Seattle Seahawks. They would not be playing them in back-to-back games. It's their second preseason game. This time it's going to be against the Seahawks. Welcome in as I am sitting across from the hitman, Blaine Bishop. I am Joe Hunk, brought to you by All 4 Seasons Garage Doors. And don't forget, not only can you listen to us on 104.5 The Zone, but that F&M Bank chat as well as Zone TV is there for you on YouTube, Facebook, X, as well as Twitch, where you can get in and have your comments as we go throughout the show. But Hitman, you have a pregame show coming up in about 16 hours as we are getting ready for the Titans game. Right. Oh, yeah. I like to count, man. I love countdowns. I'm counting down everything. It's 19 hours until the game. It is 15 days until Tennessee and Chattanooga.
Oh, and I do no countdown.
I count down everything.
So that's probably
I count down. It is also
keep me organized.
It is also 6 hours and 53 minutes until my son is in bed asleep, so that I can play video games. I count everything down. My life is a constant countdown. That is all it is. But yeah, 16 hours until you're sitting at Nissan Stadium ready for this for this game.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just like a habit. You just kind of get organized and then I don't count it down, I guess. I don't know, because I don't know if that would make me have some form of anxiety or so. I don't know. I just, okay, this is what I have planned today. Like tomorrow, I'm thinking about, okay, how can I manage not only doing a pregame show, maybe go and check out Vanderbilt's practice. They have a scrimmage tomorrow at 10:15. Is that worth driving all the way in town, then go back and then shower and then come back? I'm just, so that's kind of where I'm at. And then, I already know what I'm going to do and I already know what I'm going to say.
And I already messed the countdown up. Like I took 10 hours away. I was thinking the game was at 6 a.m.
So you were wrong.
I was wrong. My countdown was even wrong. Huh? I was gonna be in Titan.
Countdown is at 3, right?
It's at 3 o'clock. Yeah. So it's 29 hours. Thanks for that, Austin. I said 19 hours. Okay. Yeah, I had the countdown wrong.
I'm not real good with numbers, so I make sure I stay away from all of that.
I thought you were kicking off this game in London. I thought we were going to go early tomorrow.
There you go.
I thought this thing was early. No, I've been thrown off all day. I mean, seriously, I know that I know we have the game tomorrow night. We've had the two preseason or the two joint practices. All that's happening, and teams are getting everything ready. So, when you get and open your emails up, you have all of these notifications that have been sent to you with rosters and updates and everything like that. Well, I opened up a roster a little while ago, right when I got to the studio. And the first thing I did is I started looking at the positions, just looking down, and I see OL and WR and QB. And then I get halfway down this roster and it says sniffer.
As a position?
As a position, it says sniffer.
No.
And I'm just going,
this is not true. Is this true?
What is this?
That?
It's not even. It's not for the NFL. It's for high school football. It's for high school football. And a roster got sent to me with all the positions for the players, and it says sniffer. And I'm sitting thinking to myself,
watch this. What was the size of the actual player of the sniffer?
He's like 5'6", 160 pounds, and it says sniffer. So I was sitting in our.
I just looked it up.
Nope, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
Yeah, because I have no idea what that is.
So I'm sitting in the prime room.
Did you read what that is?
Oh, I had no idea.
Right, okay. Before you looked it up. Okay, I don't know what it is.
So I'm sitting in the prod room, and RK Dub finishes up. And so I hear Ramon walking out. And I said, well, if anybody is going to know what a sniffer is, it's going to be Blaine or Ramon. So I said, Ramon,
No.
tell me what this is.
He knew what a sniffer was?
I asked him what a sniffer was. He goes, Hunk, I have no clue what you're talking about. Can you give me a context? Like it was a spelling bee. Can you give me the context? I gave it to him in a sentence, and he goes, that's not a position. He's like, that's not a real thing.
I've never heard of it.
That is, he's like, what's going on? So I showed him the roster, and I showed him where it said sniffer, and he goes, he's like 5'6", 160 pounds. He's like, that's like Zeph. He's like, that's a tiny guy. What the heck is that? No idea what it was. So yes.
Is that like a scout or something who's watching the other team?
So I looked it up. The first thing that pops up for sniffer, tight end. And then I say, whoa, 160-pound tight end? Like, I know that's high school and all, but wait, what?
Nah.
So I've had to find the definition, and this is what Reed is referring to, is the sniffer or tracer, as some call it, is a hybrid tight end / fullback position that sets up in the backfield that is used mostly for lead blocking and run game. It's the hybrid back is basically what that is.
First of all, let's stop this. Google who started that.
I need to know.
That is not a position. That is called H-back.
See?
I mean, come on, man. We up here making up titles that don't even sniffer. And what was the other word to it?
It was
Get a little one. Come on,
tracer.
man.
Tracer.
On
That's
Google,
the H-back. Basically playing what Frank Wycheck played.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
It's the tight end.
It's the guy who plays for the guy who's for the 49ers. His wife, does.
use check.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he is. He plays fullback, tight end. Yeah, that's what that is. So what are they talking about?
Yeah. See, like I was like, what
So
the heck is
here's
this?
where somebody wants to make themselves feel important and came up with a new position, but it's not a new position.
Right.
So stop that. I'm gonna come up with a segment. Stop that. Stop this craziness. Just like stop talking crazy about Joe Milton's the best thing since sliced bread. I'm looking at yeah. Well, how did he do in this game? There,
Reed. Do you know his stats?
He only had 2 drives.
Yep.
He
Well,
went
how many drives did he have the last time?
2 for 7. No, I think he had 4 or 5. He only played like the fourth quarter yet last night.
Yeah, he only played I think he played like a total of 3 series.
He did have a highlight. He did truck someone.
Well, he's
ran
always going to
over
truck
him.
somebody, but is that when you start with your answer, where your quarterback is he truck somebody? That's not good.
Well, that's because
It's not good.
Well, that's
we
because
want our quarterback to be mobile, but I want you to say, boy, did you see that laser he threw? Did you see that one he pinpoint accuracy? Did you see that deep ball? I don't want to hear that about my quarterback. Oh, he trucked somebody. I want to hear that about my running back.
So let me ask Blaine before.
I don't even want to hear that from no, he trucked. I don't care if guess what? He keep trucking people. He gonna get trucked. He gonna get hurt. He not gonna be out there. I don't want that.
I'm out on Milton.
Yeah. So now we're at that part of the stage. Which stage of grievance is this now?
You gotta stay with them.
No,
that's called fair weather.
Which phase of life with Milton?
He ain't
is
gonna
this?
play, but I'm on Milton.
I like Milton. I want him to. Oh man, if he ever gets it, oh my, he's gonna be something now.
So then, Blaine, let me ask you. Just I know you don't know the stats and don't have them in front of you.
No.
Did Joe Milton have more completions or rushing yards yet last night?
More rushing yards.
He did by 7.
Oh, okay.
Because he was 2 of 7 passing.
Yeah, I knew he was 2 for 7. What do you have, like 40 yards?
2 of 7 for 20 yards, and he had 9 yards rushing.
Oh, man.
And his long was a 7-yard run.
Yeah. That's why stats are hard when you're in preseason to kind of judge anybody, really, even if it's good or bad. I mean, it's real in any position, to be honest, especially the skill positions. I mean, we kept talking about, 1 reception for, you did with Traylon Burks for 12 yards. I'm like, well, and he only played 15 plays. I'm like, that wasn't too bad. I mean, he got 1 target. He made the most of his 1 opportunity. See, so, I mean, it's hard to judge in preseason. So, with Coach Mack, keep your powder dry. In preseason, that's how it is. Like, you can't get wrapped up on a stat in a preseason game or even a bad practice. That's what athleticism is. You going against the greatest of the greats, right? You going
Absolutely.
Like you're not going to have a bad day. Like that guy woke up today and was like, oh man, he got me yesterday. I'm going to get him today. The competitive nature of a professional athlete in any sport is totally different. So if you have a bad day one day, it's not about that. It's about how you responded and you come back at it the next day. So, I mean, man, these are great athletes. Everybody's not going to have a great day every day. That just doesn't happen. Just like you could have a C game. I couldn't afford to have a C game. So that never happened. I had to bring my A game every game or I could get embarrassed out there. And that was never going to happen. So that, some guys are like that and some guys are just, phenomenal athletes like Metcalf or, some of these guys off the charts athletically. They can give you their B game and still be really good. So, they practice, just like we talked about Weatherspoon, who I thought was the number one corner coming out last year. I said that last year. I know you weren't on the show, but he looked horrible that first day. He absolutely, well, how did he finish? Looked pretty freaking good. Like maybe one of the better young corners in the National Football League with 2 picks and one to end the practice. And by the way, that's why I would want Will Levis to play. I don't want that's the last stop in my brain and in his brain that he threw the pick. Hey, we're going to do a series and we're going to throw a complete pass and we're going to get you out of there as quick as possible. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so but I don't know how much, when you're scrimmaging now in these scrimmages, how really hard guys are going. Some look like they're going pretty hard. But I felt like when we had scrimmages, we were going just as hard and we did still play in the preseason game.
Yeah,
So that shows you where we've gotten to as far as these athletes and what we're asking of them. So to me, you got to still, you got to get some callus right now, starting today. So I want to see you play when you're tired.
Well, let's see how
Ridley, I want to see you go get that deep ball in there. Well, I'm tired. I didn't have my. You better figure out a way. You beat him. You got open.
Go take some water to get some Gatorade in you. Just go
I'm
out
sure
there.
those kind of conversations are happening behind the scenes. Rest assured.
So why were you so tired? Just curious.
Everybody else was tired too.
Yeah, look, Dave Wyman was out there. You were out there. He's going to join us when we come back. Seattle Radio Network and Seattle Sports 710 as the Seahawks are in town. Dave's been at every single practice over there at St. Thomas Sports Park, as well as coming up at 1:45. We're going to give you an opportunity to start calling your shot, as well as you're going to have an opportunity to win a night stay at Bally's Evansville. So you're going to another opportunity that if you're just wanting to go watch the Colts-Titans game at some point in time of the season, this opportunity for you that's going to be at 1:45. But Dave Wyman coming up next here on 104.5 The Zone.
For many of you who have lived here a long time, you already know Eurofix has been in Middle Tennessee area for your European car repair needs now for 24 years. And we've all gotten to watch them grow. And I don't know about you, but I love watching a hometown business take off. Well, we're now proud to announce the 5th location in Mount Juliet for Eurofix on Mount Juliet Road, right across the street from Dairy Queen. And Eurofix can serve you in Franklin, Hundred Oaks, Murfreesboro, Belmead, and now Mount Juliet. Pretty cool getting to watch a small-town mechanic starting in the barn of his backyard of a single-wide trailer and now grow to 5 locations repairing thousands of cars each month. And at Eurofix, you get a 3-year nationwide warranty and a free loaner car with every repair appointment. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or you can just visit them online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com. But always tell them Blaine sent you.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
615-737-1045 is how you get in, as he is the hitman, Blaine Bishop. I'm Joe Hunt, brought to you by All Four Seasons Garage Doors.
Everybody's a sniffer.
What the heck is, sniffers, really? I found something that said that.
Well, when I hear that as an athlete, I go, jock sniffer.
Ramon
That's the
thought
only thing I ever heard of it.
Ramon thought it was a player that was getting ribbed by his coach.
Hey.
Yeah. Whoa.
Is that Ramon saying that?
Hey. Like, man, look, that coach doesn't like that player, and he's putting sniffer. Like, it was
man.
I had no idea what this was.
Sniffer.
No, and then, matter of fact, I found a website for South Carolina that was talking about Will Muschamp back in like 2019 had a sniffer on his roster, and they had to explain what it was.
Really?
It's just, again, it's the hybrid tight end. That's what it is.
Yeah. So I would ask him, like, okay, so what is the H-back?
Exactly. Like, do you not have the H-back now? Because
people don't realize that's what Delaney Walker was when he's with the 49ers.
Right.
And then he got here and he got an opportunity to be a complete tight end, and then, the sky was the limit.
Well, okay, so help me out.
Vernon Davis.
So help me out on, is there a difference between the H-back and the tight end as far as what you're looking for? Because again, you've coached
there's
this.
two different positions. One plays fullback and he's kind of the move guy.
Mm-hmm.
What was the tight end we had from Harvard? Do y'all remember the guy we had that would just a couple years ago with Arthur Smith? He was the move guy, and the tight end is actually on the line, so you can say he's the tight end. He's never really moving.
Oh, Ferkser.
Ferkser, right?
Yeah.
Ferkser was that H-back.
Yeah.
And then he was lead up in there, even though he wasn't good at blocking. So it's very rare that you can find a guy that can actually move. Most of those guys are converted running backs that have great catching skills, but also good enough as a blocker to lead block. And they're faceted in their utility type players. They're really unique. I like those players. A lot of offenses don't know how to utilize them because they don't really run I formation anymore.
No.
And that's why I think the 49ers are still good, because that guy is very valuable to them.
I'm about to say, how many NFL teams, if any, actually have a fullback on their roster?
Like, that's what your favorite player, Jig, that's really what he is.
Yes.
Now, I would say he's even more than that, because I think he can actually split outside and actually run routes.
Which would make him vital.
Right. So
hold on.
But he just got to hold on. But, you see, that's what I'm talking about. Hold your powder dry.
I know.
You looked up, he had never fumbled in an actual game, at least that he lost anyway. He may have fumbled, but he didn't lose the ball like somebody else on the team recovered or something.
This is the problem.
But in practice, that's why it's called practice. Like, you shoot free throws. Did you make them all? No. You do batting practice. Did you hit them all home runs? No. So that's why it's practice. That's why everybody's revving up, And I know in the media, you're getting so detail-oriented about a day, that somebody had a good day or bad day, or who had a, horrible day. The guys who are pretty much cemented in this league and are going to be on the roster are going to have up and down days, because sometimes they're, tweaking what they used to do. They're trying to improve or work on their game in another part, and it may work, may not. The guys on the roster who are trying to actually make the team or depth pieces, they can't afford that. So, you just never know. And I'm not excusing no fumbling, though, but you definitely want to practice good habits with that for sure. But I think it's different perspectives depending on what player you're actually talking about. So because to me, I'm wondering if the Titans won the 2 practices, or did they lose the practice? And then when you say that, are we just talking about the first group? Because that's what I'm really talking about. How did our ones look against their ones? And I only watched, half of the field. I mean, one side of the field where the guys were on that side, and it was mostly the Titans offense. So I have no idea if the Titans defense did great, but I tell you one thing, Seattle Seahawks defense did pretty good, and especially up front. So, yeah, I don't know if I would say we lost from our offensive perspective against the Seahawks.
So does that, from the practices that you went to, and again, I know it's a keep the powder dry and everything like that, and what you've seen.
But that doesn't define if this team is going to be good or bad, or the offense is horrible, or Levis didn't have a day because he threw a pick 6 at the end of a 2-minute. Like, that doesn't say any of that. I think, people have to look at it. It's like whatever job you do. How great are you? Are you bringing your A game every day? When we on air, I can't say that I have my best A game every day. That just doesn't happen. It's not being unrealistic.
No.
Right. So that's just like that in sports. And I don't understand why people think it's so different because it's athletics. Like, it is no different than a normal job. Like, you're going to have some good days and bad days, and some guys can't afford to have good days. If not, guess what? In the real world, they get fired. Out here, they get cut. See, that's what happens. You start, and especially if you're a veteran, you start having too many. I'm like, he ain't got his fastball no more. Bye.
Well, no, and the one person I've said it on here numerous times with you. Yes, I've picked on Caleb Farley and his history and on the field and everything like that. But also, do you really expect that man to go out and have an amazing practice every single day with the stuff that he was dealing with off the field?
No, I'm not.
And I'm not.
I just want him to stay healthy and to see if he actually can perform it, if he actually can benefit our team as a depth piece. That is the only thing I'm expecting from him, to be honest. And if I get more than that, oh man, that's like cream sugar on top.
Yes.
Like that's what all I'm expecting.
Yes.
Like, man, I don't even know if he's going to make the roster. Now, it doesn't look so good when you're not practicing. We were talking about Phillips. I mean, he's not practicing.
He's not practicing.
Darius Jackson, Jaquan Jackson. Hey, man, I don't know, man. Kinsey, where are we going with this? Hey, Phillips may be out of the loop just because he's not practicing.
Well, I mean, and then you hear about Marlon Davidson and the fact that he's done for the season now.
That guy was that guy's a good player.
Oh, absolutely, he was.
That piece, that hurts.
He didn't do well when he was drafted by, I want to say, Atlanta at the time. Like, he struggled there, and then the Titans picked him up.
Good. Since he's been here as a depth piece, he has been fabulous inside. Yeah, but that hurts.
Yeah,
somebody may have to step up. I don't know who that is, who that may be.
2023, he played in 5 different games for Tennessee. He started 3 of those. He had a sack. He also had 10 total tackles, 2 tackle for losses, and a quarterback hit, all during just those 5 games that he played for the Titans last year. Like, that was a guy that was going to be a rotational piece for this Titans defensive line that now is struggling to now have depth on it because of somebody like Marlon Davidson.
Yeah. Now, and people go, he's just a deputy. People have no idea how valuable those depth guaranteed guy. He could probably start on half the teams in the league. That rotation of giving Big Jeff or Sweat some rest time and then getting real good production. I can go down. People wouldn't even remember this guy. Jason Fisk, Joe Salavea, depth pieces on our team on the D line when I was playing with the Titans. You don't remember their name, their household name. Guess what? Our teammates did. Mm-hmm. Like, oh man, this guy came in and wrecked shop for those 10 plays that he played in the entire game. I mean, we talking about bully ball. And I'm like, whoa. And guess what? Then all of a sudden, the starter comes back in. He's refreshed, re-energized, and now he's elite and on this whole nother level, right? See, that's what happens.
And if I remember correctly, without looking up and going through this, Marlon Davidson is the one that stepped in when Big Jeff was injured, if I remember that correctly.
I think so.
These depth pieces, they have the potential to at least 3 or 4 games.
Yes.
And you can't tell me 3 or 4 games don't matter, because a field goal was the reason why the Titans didn't make the playoffs in 2022. Mm-hmm. 1 field goal, not the loss to the Jags, a field goal in week 1 that they could have been made is the reason the team didn't make the playoffs. So one play can be this. One little person, one little guy, and one little person. Talk about Marlon Davidson, who's probably like 320. One little sniffer. One little sniffer can be the guy that is going to be the difference between you winning and losing. Because, look, yes, you have Tony Pollard and you have Tajay Spears in the backfield. Who says both of them are going to be available for 17 games? Who says that both of them are going to be available for 15 games? It may be a Tajay Spears and Chestnut or Haskins or something like that.
Or Small.
Or Jabari Small. Like, those are the guys behind the guys that are important, because what did we talk about last week? The very second that we heard J.C. Latham went down, how many Titans fans panicked the very second?
I felt like somebody punched me in the gut.
Oh, I did.
We have nothing.
Because we know what happens if your left tackle goes down for the Tennessee Titans.
Oh man. And that's why we gotta find that. We gotta find that Kelly. Remember Kelly?
Yes.
Oh man, we got to find that guy.
Look at what happened again. Going back to the 2022 season, Lawan goes down the very first play against the Bills in 2022. Monday Night Football, first play of the game, Lawan goes down. It was like what, week 2 of the season, maybe.
And we were nuts and bolts.
No, 1,000%. There was nobody behind him that could help, and we had to deal with that for the remainder of the season, and still almost made the playoffs. Like, the guy behind the guy is important. So Marlon Davidson, that's a big deal. Your Phillips, who's going to have to play at some point in time, especially if you say get into a no-huddle sort of situation, Those guys are important.
Man, yeah, Phillips is in trouble, man. Jackson showed now. He's starting to show is a receiver now. We starting to see him.
Dude, if Jackson has another good game on Saturday.
Both Jacksons.
Just go pick out your locker.
I figure
out if you want to change numbers.
Was Jaquan Jackson? I thought, man, he looked really good every time I kept, and he was running away from some people.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoa. I think his confidence level is continually to grow as a young player quickly. Once you have a little bit of success as a young player, rookie player, boy, the sky starts to make, this is just like college. I'm about to tear it up. And you not even had that conversation. You just know now I belong because now you reinforce it by what you actually did.
Yes.
And once you go see it, you go, man, dang, I can play at this level and still be successful. Boy, that's a powerful thing as an athlete. Yeah.
And that's the reason why.
Imagine if you would have had 2A, you would have hit a home run. What would you have thought after that? I'm going to the majors.
Dude, exactly.
Really?
Think about Christian Moore right now. Guy has like an amazing single A.
He was a top pick.
I mean, seriously, but still, he has an amazing single A. He has an amazing couple of weeks in double A. And that man's just sitting back right now. Like, look, did you guys not see the reaction that the city of Chattanooga had to him being there in the lineup?
Oh, man.
There are people in Huntsville right now that there's all these like Trash Pandas Facebook pages and all this stuff that are up. And there are fans that stay after the game just for him because they're also Vol fans. And they're from either South Tennessee, like Fayetteville, Lewisburg, and those types of places. And it's 30 minutes to a Trash Pandas game and they can go watch him play. And they're like crowding around his car and stuff. Because of how excited they are, because of how well he's doing. If I'm sitting in that locker room and I'm him right now, I'm going, okay, so it's now August. Call-ups in September are happening. Like, dude, I know I'm finishing this season in Anaheim. It's a letdown for me now.
He's so relaxed. He just know the game is slow to him now. It's just easy. And by the way, now I know that the name of the minor league team in Chattanooga is Trash Pandas. I had no idea.
Rocket City Trash Pandas in Chattanooga Lookouts. See, it's the Chattanooga Lookouts and the Rocket City Trash Pandas.
Had Tony V thrown out the first pitch.
Look, yes.
Look at it.
He's right. The Lookouts made this a celebration of him.
They're smart.
Of the visiting player.
Yeah, they want all those Tennessee fans.
I mean, it's the visiting player they just made a big deal about. And Tony V's there throwing out the first pitch.
Oh, man.
Like, that's what it is you to have all this stuff happen. You're like, dude, I'm about to go up and I'm about to be in the majors. And that's what, like, Jaquan Jackson, like, hopefully, they're sitting in Jackson sitting there going, look, just have a good game. Do what I'm supposed to do now, because this is the interesting part as well, kind of like with last night with Pittsburgh, or not Pittsburgh, but with the Patriots and with the Eagles. Now they've seen what the kickoff rule is. They've had a week to work on it. Now you're already starting to see some adjustments. Teams are doing some small little changes because they're still holding back for the regular season. Like, is he going to be able to still do what he did in the first game in this game? Because that may be his route to being on this team, outside of Phillips being injured.
Yeah. I mean, you just don't know. Kenzie, I mean, everybody's going to have to roll. I mean, just like Malik Willis starting. Watch this. I don't think he's outplayed Rudolph. So why is the coach doing that?
Okay, so.
See, I don't believe that's where this is coming from.
Okay.
I'm not saying that he's played, Willis hasn't deserved this right, but it is not like he's outplayed Rudolph. Like, I don't know about that, if that's true or not.
This is because we're going to start this coming up in about 15 minutes. Actually, yes, 15 minutes, because, again, I said 19 hours. It's 29 hours. We're going to start this in about 15 minutes, but Malik Willis starting is a part of my shot that I'm calling today.
Oh.
My shot is going to come from Malik getting that start for the Titans tomorrow night.
I think I'll have to think of another shot now.
Oh, no. Oh, come on. Did we really have the same shot?
Probably not, but
probably
you're going to you go first. Don't have me go first this time.
What's this, our man Wyman stood us up. Man, we can start the shots now. Yeah, since you mentioned, you got me all hyped up. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, we starting the shots now.
We're going to start the shots now. Okay. Have people call in. Yeah.
So here's it. So Reed, actually, I'm going to give Reed a second because he's going to be the one that says he wants to change it. I really don't want you to change it because I don't think.
You go first.
Dang it.
Oh.
Okay, fine. See, I wasn't even prepared. Like we're
silly, dumb shot.
We have Omaha. Like we're straight calling some audibles right now. Okay. So call your shot. It's going to be for an opportunity for you to win a night stay for 2 at the Bally's Evansville Hotel. Now, remember, you sit there and go, why on earth would I want to do this? Don't forget how close Evansville actually is to Indianapolis. So there's an opportunity for you to work in a Colts game that may or may not involve a team that has two-tone blue in it. And so now you've already got your hotel solidified, and then you can be going to the game and you can save some money for the tickets. So look, we're trying to help you out with this. So call your shot, 615-737-1045, as right now we're getting everything ready for Call Your Shot, as now we are looking for the best shot. And should we say most realistic one? Like most realistic best shot? Like last week, the person that won said that he thinks that France was going to upset USA, which it didn't happen.
Oh, it was close.
But it was close. Like that was
men's and women's. Which one was he talking about?
Until Steph Curry woke up.
Ooh.
It was almost.
You mean Captain America? That's what you mean. That man right there is the Avenger.
He put him to sleep.
He just exactly. He finally woke up and he grabbed Thor's hammer and he just said, "This is what we're going to do." I just threw out a spoiler from a movie that's 6 years old, so I'm so sorry if you have not seen that yet. But that is what Steph Curry did. So call your shot, as Emmett is on the chat, and he says that my shot that I'm calling is Malik Willis scores 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, as well as 1 passing coming up tomorrow night when he gets that start. So we're going to do this. Reed is going to go ahead and start working on the phone calls as we get all this going right now. So 615-737-1045. Blaine, before we go to break, do you want to give your shot? Because we're starting to get some phone calls ready.
No, you go. Because, I was going to be some part of Malik Willis, but I'm going to just change it all up.
Okay, because mine is an overall view of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get those together. We're going to break early just for a second. So when we come back, we can start calling our shots right here on 104.5 The Zone, as he is the hitman Blaine Bishop. I am Joe Hunk, brought to you by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. But let's start lining those phone calls up right now. 615-737-1045.
Hey, Tennessee, summer is in full swing, and Cool Ray's here to make sure your home is ready for all the fun and the sun. And we've got some sizzling deals that will keep you comfortable and worry-free all season long. So ensure your family stays hydrated and healthy with free water quality testing, because nothing beats a refreshing drink of pure water on a hot summer day. And Cool Ray also offers a $149 main sewer line camera inspection. And right now, they also offer 15% off whole home dehumidifiers, as well as $500 off whole home generators. So let Cool Ray take care of your home so you can focus on making memories. So call us today and take advantage of these scorching hot deals. Cool Ray, your trusted partner for a cool and comfortable Tennessee summer. And all you have to do is just visit coolray.com. And Cool Ray, always keeping Tennessee cool, plumbing right, and lights bright.
The F&M Bank chat is already going crazy on Zone TV when it comes to the shots that people are calling so far. So here are some of the ones that we have just on the F&M Bank chat, which is where you can hop in and watch Zone TV by going to YouTube, Facebook, X, as well as Twitch. And Blaine, tell me which ones of these it sounds the most realistic. My shot, this is coming from Pat, is my shot that Jackson gets 2 touchdowns. One is a kick return, and another one is a touchdown reception.
Talking about Jaquan or
yeah, I think he's going to go with Jaquan.
Okay.
And Lonzo is saying that Julius Chestnut is going to score 3 touchdowns tomorrow night.
Oh, so the guys are, I guess the role players or guys fighting for a roster spot are going to be playing a lot this game.
That's what they are believing on the F&M Bank
it could
chat.
be true. I have no idea.
Yeah, and you also have Dylan says that Jabari Small is going to have 100 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. And the Titans are going to just hand him his starting jersey, right, when he walks off. He didn't add that part, but if you have 100 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, just might as well start getting your airline ticket to Chicago for week 1. Reed, have you come up with a new shot yet?
Yes, I have.
All right, we're going to start with Reed. Reed, what is your shot?
I would take the Titans -1, or no, +1, and it is -105 on sportsbooks, but I would take the Titans +1. So basically money line.
All right, so his is that the Titans +1 to win tomorrow night. Now, Blaine, do you have yours just yet?
No, I want you to tell me
okay.
Just keep it with the Malik Willis.
All right, so keeping with Malik Willis, here's what I say. If Malik Willis or Treylon Burks has a good game tomorrow night, one of them is going to be traded.
Ooh, okay.
One of those is going to be traded. That is mine. I'm going to write that down.
Dang, that's strong.
If
right
either
there.
Malik or Treylon Burks has a good game on tomorrow night, one of them will be traded before the season starts.
I like that shot, man. That's pretty good.
All right. Do you want to go with yours? You want to go to the phone lines?
I'm going to go with my man Brownlee with a pick.
Oh.
6.
Oh, Brownlee with a pick 6.
Pick 6, my man Brownlee.
All right. Here we go. Phone lines are open to you, 615-737-1045. Let's head to Columbia. Janelle, welcome in. Janelle.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. What's your shot?
Well, my shot, it doesn't involve the Titans, but it's Aaron Rodgers is going to win the Super Bowl with the Jets this year.
Oh, with the Jets, Aaron.
All right, stay on hold on that one. So she thinks
in the Jets.
She thinks that he's going to win with the Jets. Okay, Brian in Clarksville. Let's hear your shot, man.
What's up, guys? I know it's football season and everybody's calling their shots on Titans football, but I got to give some love to my baseball fans. Just like in 21, when Ronald Acuna tore his ACL, the Atlanta Braves will win the World Series this year as a 6-seed wild card team.
You stop it right now. Thanks, Brian. Stay on hold. You stop it right now. Did anybody else but me hear the snicker in that right there? Yeah.
No.
God, I want to believe Brian. I really want to believe Brian so bad.
You do?
No, I don't at all.
I do.
Look, I will say there's a lot of things about this Braves team that I will say I'm wrong on. I did not think that Chris Sale was going to be as good as he has been so far this year. I thought that he was a number 4, number 5. Had no thought in my mind that he was actually going to dominate the way that he has. They just took 3 of 4 against San Francisco. Like, I get it, but Brian. All right, let's stay in Clarksville. Chuck, what's your shot?
Hey guys, my shot is that after Saturday night's game, Sunday, Monty Austinfort offers a 5th round pick for Malik Willis, and that the Titans will make a medical settlement with Caleb Farley, and he'll be gone.
Oh. Whoa!
Dang,
right.
that was a bad curveball. Oh, that was really 2 good ones. That's kind of into what you were talking about on Malik Willis as far as the trade.
Well, see, and that's where I was like, wait a second, that's what I said. But then he added about the Caleb Farley. Can you expand on what that is? Because he was talking about like a medical.
Medical.
Yeah.
That's when basically they're cutting you and they give you a settlement because he's a rookie and he's in his rookie contract. So that's basically a settlement.
Okay.
Money. I don't know how they settle with his agent and whoever else was.
Well, I know that like in Major League Baseball, there's one Major League player, and I cannot remember his name. It's he got cut, but once he got cut, they found out that he was actually having like mental health issues and that he had actually gotten diagnosed with schizophrenia. And so they kept him on like the payroll so that he could continue to get paid, so that he could continue to get mental health treatments, like something like that. Like, it's hey man, you're not on the team.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, but in the NFL, they're, which in baseball is different a little bit. All the contracts are guaranteed. And somewhat for Farley, since he was a first round pick, they may have to do that. I don't even know if they have to do that. They may have to just cut him and just eat it. That's kind of how that kind of works. But.
So Taylor says, so how do people win this? Is it just the most outlandish shot? No, it's the most outlandish shot that sounds the most realistic. Is what it is. Like,
so where are we at? Which one stands out right now? What you got, Reed? Reed, you got to give us your opinion now.
Yeah, Reed, you're the one that's having to keep up with all this.
Probably Brian, because I think Chuck hung up.
Yeah.
So
you got to stay on hold, man.
You got to stay on hold. So Brian, he is Braves winning the World Series.
Oh, Dude, come on, man. Have faith in your team.
No, it's not that I don't have faith in my team. Like, well, first off, like Major League Baseball is so different, especially in September and October now, because it's not about the best team anymore. Like Emmett said on the F&M Bank chat, Atlanta is getting hot with Michael Harris coming back. He came back yesterday. But I think that the Yankees are made for the World Series. Judge is hotter than Fish yeah. But it is, and so it's all about the team that's hot. Like it is, that's the reason why the Nationals won the World Series a few years ago. That's the reason why the Braves won the World Series in 21. Like it is not about the best team anymore. Like it is not about playing a 7-game series and the best team winning. It is about the team that is the hottest at the end of September, beginning of October. That is what it is about. And yes, as a person that has hated the Yankees ever since Jim Lawrence was a little and hit that slider over the left field wall in Fulton County Stadium, I've hated the Yankees with a passion. But man, they are so much fun to watch right now. They are so much fun to watch. All right,
and this is just call your shot. So I know people in the chat are talking about something happened with Farley. No, he has not been cut or anything.
No. This is call your shot. Somebody called their shot and said that Malik Willis will get traded after the way that he performs tomorrow night, and that the Titans will have some sort of settlement with Caleb Farley. Yeah, so that was what the shot was. This is not what's going to happen. All right, let's head out to Lebanon. Davis. Welcome in. What's your shot?
Pollard and Spears both will have over 1,000 yards this year.
Okay. All right. Stay on hold. Now, he just said 1,000 yards. Didn't say rushing. Didn't say receiving. He just said 1,000 total yards this year, which is very doable. A piece.
Yes.
Both of them 1,000 total yards. Ooh. Okay. That one. That one's reasonable.
So you could even have 700 rushing and 300 passing, receiving,
yes.
I mean.
Absolutely. Well, it doesn't matter how you get to 1,000 as long as there's 4 digits beside your name for total yards. That's all that matters.
I think that's feasible.
All right, 6'1". What's your shot, bro?
6'1".
Man, y'all ready for this?
I'm
6'1".
Y'all gotta get ready for this.
I want you to explain what 6'1" mean.
6'1" just my height, man.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I thought you was gonna say like you were 6'1" on Madden since it came out this morning or something.
Oh no, it's just basic 6'1". That's what they call my height. So I got one for you. I got to go. This is for the season. Y'all write this down and mark my words. D-Hop and Ridley both 1,000 yards. Pollard 1,000 yards.
Good heavens.
The defense will get 50-yard sacks, and we won't give up no more than 40 sacks.
Okay, all right. Hold. I am writing this down because you just gave us a lot of information.
Yeah, because I missed one of them. It went in and out. I don't recall.
So say that one more time.
D-Hop and Ridley both with 1,000 yards. Pollard with 1,000 yards. The defense will get 55 sacks this year, and we won't give up no more than 40 sacks this year.
Oh, on the offensive side. Got you.
All right. I've got this written down.
55.
Yeah, thanks for that, 6'1".
4 of them.
I'm telling you, do
He
you
might
not
as well just said Levis is going to throw for 4,000 yards. It's going to break a record for the Titans in their history.
Exactly, which has never happened in Titans history. Let's just go on. And it hasn't even happened in Titans Oilers history since, 91?
Yeah.
I think it was with Warren Moon. I think it was 91 when he threw for 4,000.
Yeah. What did he 42? What was
Yeah, I mean, it was, but I'm just,
that was
okay.
a run and shoot.
All right.
Nobody knew about it.
Whew. Dewey says that would be a great season. Taylor says 6'1's going to have an existential crisis when he starts shrinking as an old man. He ain't going to be 6'1 anymore.
Well, that happens.
All right. Okay. So we've got some more people on hold. Call your shot. We're going to carry it over into the next segment as well because we haven't figured out who the winner is. Plus, we have more people still calling in, so we won't give you this opportunity. Emmett says, I don't see 50 sacks, but I'd like this. I like his parlay that he's coming up with. 1,000 yards for D-Hop, Ridley, as well as Pollard, and 55 sacks for the defense. Okay. All right. 615-737-1045 as we are calling our shots for a chance to win a one-night stay for two at Bally's Evansville Hotel. There's going to be dinner for two at the Bally Bet Sportsbook and Bar. All of that for the best and most realistic shot that you can come up with. He is the hitman, Blaine Bishop. I am Joe Hunt, brought to you by all Four Seasons Garage Doors on 104.5 The Zone.
You ever wonder why so many pro athletes go and use stem cell therapy? Because it works. I'm Ron Slade, retired 14-year pro basketball player, and I needed to get this done. After I went through my entire career riddled with injuries, I needed therapy, so I went to Kellum Stem Cell Institute out in Franklin. Why? Because they're the stem cell specialists. They can be yours too. They're the stem cell specialists of the Tennessee Titans. You know why? Because it works.
Make an appointment today with Kellum Stem Cell Institute.
Second hour, final hour, best hour on 104.5 The Zone. As he is the hitman Blaine Bishop, I'm Joe Hunt, brought to you by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. And the phone lines are open to you at 615-737-1045. As so far, Blaine, we have all three of us have called our shots. Going back over the shots that we called, make sure I've said this right. You have Brownlee having a pick six tomorrow night. Reed is saying take the Titans +1 to win, which is basically money line.
Yep, correct.
Preseason is it's tough to call.
Oh, yeah, seriously.
Minus 105.
Yeah, so, take the money line.
There may be plus money for money line, so you may, yeah.
And I said that if either Malik or Traylon Burks have a good game tomorrow night, one of them will be traded before the season starts. That's just, So that's the ones that we've called. Now,
only if they have a good game.
Only if they have a good game.
Oh, they may still get traded and don't have a good game.
They may. And then my pick is invalid. Kind of like me saying, Calvin Ridley's going to get a deep ball thrown to him, and he's going to catch it for over 30 yards in the first 3 plays. Can't happen if your first 3 plays are within 15 yards of scoring a touchdown. Thanks, Jackson.
Is this overthinking? I'm about to say this. I want you guys to get an opinion. This is what I'm thinking about. Why Malik Willis is starting this game. And it could be way to the left. Y'all tell me, right, Reed? Mm-hmm. They've contacted or someone's contacted them and said, hey, we're interested in Malik Willis, but we haven't seen him play this year. Mm-hmm. How about you put him out there, let us see him, so then I can give you what really is fair value for him.
I think that it's not just... Again, this is us
and
talking to each other.
Yes. I don't know.
I think that that's possibly the case for a few Titans. That's the reason why I said that about Malik. Because I think that's exactly.
So we're going to give away good players?
No, we're going to give away players that
we're just that good.
At this point in time, that's right. Because you know what? Screw having these players.
This roster's way better than last year.
Oh, it is.
I'll tell you that right now.
I think that's it. I think that with Traylon and with Malik, that they are looking at this as like, look, there are teams that need wide receivers, or there are teams that need quarterbacks. Backup. Again, let's look how many quarterbacks have already been injured. Some are already missing for the season. J.J. McCarthy is now done for the year.
Oh my!
And he's barely did anything in his time in Minnesota. So you have these injuries taking place. There are people already wanting to say that Tannehill is going, hey, I wonder if Tannehill's looking at somewhere like L.A. or if he's looking at Minnesota because of these injuries. There's things like that are happening. So I truly do think that the people that you're putting out on the field for the most tomorrow night, there's a real shot of conversations happening next week for trades. I think that you're spot on with that.
It's speculation, but I don't know. They just I'm still not understanding who's playing and who's not, who's really a starter, who's not. I don't get it. No. He said, the ones aren't playing. I'm like, so J.C. Latham's not playing?
See? Exactly.
I don't know. You're telling me Sweat's not playing?
You're telling me that your first round and your second round draft pick is not going to play? Or are you saying, let's be realistic, it's the ones that we know don't need any playing? Because even after that, Brian Callahan says most likely all, but there may be a few depending on situation.
Right. So that shows you he's really valuing back-to-back days and scrimmaging a team.
Absolutely.
It carries a lot of weight because he said, I'm asking now the players to do a little too much in a game because now I'm asking for the injuries to happen. If I play because now they're overworked, he said their legs are heavy. Mm-hmm. He said all these things. So it's, it's the training staff and everybody else involved. I don't know if this would be good for, be playing these guys we know is going to be on the roster.
Absolutely. Now, what we're doing right now is giving you the opportunity to call your shot for a one-night stay for 2 at the Bally Evansville Hotel. We're also throwing in dinner for 2 at Bally Bet Sportsbook and Bar in Indiana. 615-737-1045. The most realistic, extreme shot that you can call will be the winner of this night stay at the Bally Evansville Hotel. We've got some of our guys still hanging on because they've already given their shot. So let's go back out to Clarksville. Matt, welcome in.
What's
your
going
shot,
on, guys?
bro?
You got it.
How's it going?
Great.
So I'm going to say I got a couple of them kind of here, like a little parlay thing, but I'm going to go Malik Willis, 250 passing yards,
Jesus.
2 touchdowns, and then Brownlee with the interception.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Stay on the line, Matt. Hold on for that one. Okay, so we've got his down. Let's stay in Nashville now. Dylan, welcome in, man. What's your shot?
Fellas, how we doing? I got another parlay for us. So, unfortunately, the Titans are going to carry the injury bug on. One of our wide receivers is going to go down. Phalen's going to step up. He's going to get 1,000. Will Levis is going to be a top 10 QB. Andrew Rupchich is going to step in and be our starting right guard. And why not? Let's throw one more on there. Big Jeff Simmons is going to have 10 sacks. Let's see it, baby.
Why not?
All right.
Why not? Man.
Dang, Dylan's. And what's sad is out of every bit of that, I think he gave us 3. No, he gave us 4. 3 of the 4 are very realistic.
Yeah. I just didn't like the injury part. But
the injury part sucks.
Yeah.
But the 3 of the 4, Will Levis being what? You say top 5 wide receiver? Rupich coming in and being your starting right guard, and Big Jeff having 10 sacks. Like, all of those are very realistic ones that can happen. All right, let's head out.
He said Will Levis is a top 5 quarterback, not wide receiver.
Yeah, that. But then he said, but the one that's kind of the most out there is that Traylon Burks is going to have 1,000 yards receiving this year.
Ooh.
All right, let's head to Mount Pleasant. Chuck, what's your shot, man?
Hey, man, Malik's going to have 35 yards rushing, a passing touchdown, and setting them up for a field goal.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that, Chuck. Okay. All right. So before we figure out who
Malik
is,
Willis and Burks.
Man, there is a lot of it on there. All right. Let's go to Shelbyville. Braden.
Burks is a starter.
What's going on, guys? I've got a pretty good one. I've got James Pierce winning SEC Defensive Player of the Year.
Realistic.
And also Nico getting SEC Offensive Player of the Year. Balls in the playoffs. Let's go.
Okay. All right, Braden.
Oh, dang. If that happens, is he then eligible to come out?
Yeah, no, Pierce?
No.
Or Nico?
Nico.
No,
because
last year was his first
year.
season.
Yeah, Nico needs
one more year after this year.
Yeah, one more after this year.
Yeah. So, but Pierce.
Oh, yeah.
He's a top 5 draft pick.
This is Pierce's last year.
Yeah, he's a top 5 draft pick. And some, depending on what team goes to number 1, he could be the number 1 overall draft pick, depending on the need of the team.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
Well, some experts or national media guys are saying the Titans going to be in that mix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're going to be a top 5 pick.
Look,
I was like, huh?
All you do, just look, go on Google. If you just want to get fired up and you want to get angry before the game tomorrow night, just go online and Google 2025 NFL mock draft. And I promise you, if you look at 10 of them, 9 of them have the Titans drafting in like the top 5.
I'm stunned, man. I'm like, dang, do I even know ball anymore?
I know.
It's like, dang, something must going to happen to the whole like so a whole bunch of dudes must not going to play. They going to get injured or something.
Absolutely.
Well, they're going to be very competitive.
I have sat here and I'm thinking to myself, because I'm looking and going, I know this offense is better than what it was last year. Like, I know we don't have the king, but I know this offense is better. I know this offensive line is better. Like, we sit here and joke about not scoring 30 points in a game, and it hasn't happened since the Packers game on Thursday Night Football. Like, we joke about that. But, I mean, I could truly see multiple 30-point games this season.
You know, what people are counting, AFC South now is one of the most competitive divisions now with young, up-and-coming quarterbacks. It's going to be kind of fascinating.
Yes.
Really, to watch this whole AFC South grow and watch, some of these great young quarterbacks continue to develop and, man, make their mark.
Absolutely. And that's where I'm curious about the way that this division is, because CJ Stroud's going into his second season, and now you kind of have a quote-unquote have a book on him. Yeah. You have at least half of a season on Will Levis, so you know a little bit more about him. Trevor Lawrence is the one that just got paid, and the only one that we really don't know anything about is Anthony Richardson, because he got injured so early in the year last year. Like, I can't remember which one of the shots that got called. Oh, no, it was 6-1 when he called in, and his shot was D-Hop, Ridley, and Pollard were all going to have 1,000 yards, total yards. The defense was going to get 55 sacks, but won't give up 40 sacks on the offensive line. So I looked this up, and last year, if the Titans would have had 55 sacks, which they had 45, if the Titans would have had 55 sacks in 2023, they would have had the 4th highest sack total in the NFL, behind the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Dolphins. Now, what's interesting is you throw in the Bills, who was at 4, the Colts, who were in the playoff race all the way up until the last weekend, and the Browns. That was your top 6 when it comes to your sack totals last year. If the Titans have 55 sacks almost every team that was around that number was a playoff team last year. And the Colts would have been if they had won like one more game. One more game.
How many sacks did we have in 99?
Dude,
oh, man.
No. I'm going to have this number for you.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell a shot of a man who always calls in Philly Mike. I think his shot is Jeffrey Simmons is going to have 10.5 sacks this season.
I have the number for you, by the way.
Was it more than 55?
No.
Oh, it wasn't?
It was one less.
Oh, 54.
You had 54 sacks. It was second in the NFL. The Jags and Rams were tied with 57.
Okay.
And you had 54, and right behind you were the Lions and the Bucks. I'm sorry, the Lions and the Broncos.
Oh.
All right, let's get one more shot in. Before we figure this out, let's get one more shot in. Let's head to the Burrow. JB, you're our last person calling a shot, and then we're picking a winner, man. What's up?
My shot for Saturday's game is going to be Small. Gets over 70 total yards and a touchdown.
Who is this?
Jabari Small.
Oh, Jabari Small. Mm-hmm. Okay, gotcha.
All right. Stay on the line, JB. We're going to pick our winner during the break. We'll let you know who that is, so you guys stay on the line. If you have called your shot, stay on the line. We're going to pick our winner. Our man Reed back there is going to get to you as you will be winning a night stay for two at the Bally Evansville Hotel. When we come back, though, Sam Phalen's also been at practice all week long. He has seen all the joint practices, and he is going to talk to us about what we can expect tomorrow night at Nissan Stadium, 6 p.m. kick, as you can listen to every bit of it right here on 104.5 The Zone. Congratulations to Braden as he called James Pierce and Nico to be the offensive, or I should say defensive and offensive players of the year. And for the Vols to be in the college football playoff. Call your shot. We do it every single Friday. And then today, Braden just won a night stay for two at the Bally's Evansville Hotel, plus dinner for two at Bally Bet Sportsbook and Bar. Now, somebody on the F&M Bank chat said, did Curse probably had about 40 of those 54 tackles in 1999, or sacks, I should say, in 1999. He did not have 40.
He was joking, but I get what he said. He was pretty dominant.
He was absolutely dominant. He had 14 and a half when the Titans had 54 sacks in 1999. Now, Blaine, and this is the thing that I think even Titans fans forget about so much, is how much better the defense was in 2000 as compared to 1999. And Curse in that season had 11 and a half sacks, and the Titans as a team did have 55.
Yeah, 55 then, yeah. But people were game planning for Curse then. They were prepared. They were doubling, tripling. And so we took advantage of that, and it kind of helped other players rise to and they had big numbers that year. So, yeah, we finished number one, too, by the way, in defense.
Just letting you know. And I was like, wait, because I feel bad because I forgot that. I had no idea.
Because everybody just looks at the Super Bowl season, the 2000 team, not just on defense, was the better team. If we played the 99 team, we would have beat them.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's head now. A to Z Sports and Sam Phalen. As Sam, when we were doing Call Your Shot, somebody said that Big Jeff is going to have 10 sacks this upcoming season. What do you think?
I love that call. Honestly, if I was calling my shot, I was sitting here. I didn't hear that call in, but as you were bringing up Call Your Shot, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what would I call as my shot for the Titans? Ooh. And that was one of the things that came to mind, is the possibility that Jeffrey Simmons sets a career high and reaches double-digit sacks for the first time in his NFL career.
Okay, hold up. Now, I want to know the other options of what you came up with, if that was one of them, because we all have ours, and we can share it with you. But now I'm curious about, if you were going to call your shot, what that shot would be.
Ooh, all right. Well, listen, I think Tajay Spears is going to go over 1,200 all-purpose yards this season. All-purpose yards over 1,200 for Tajay Spears. So that would be one of my call your shots as well. I also think Josh Wiley has more receptions than Chigakonkwo at tight end for the Titans.
Okay. All right. So what Blaine called for his call your shot today, he said that he believes that Brownlee is going to have a pick six tomorrow night.
Hey, I love that. See, Blaine, that's how you do call your shot right there. Getting just bold. Just go out and make it. Like, if it hits, we're all going to be like, man, Blaine Bishop.
It'd be lucky, right?
And if it doesn't hit, we're going to forget about it this time next week.
There you go.
Well, and Reed's call your shot was that he thinks that the Titans are going to win the +1, so take the +1. And what
it's the preseason. I don't know about betting lines in the preseason here, but right? You know what?
You know how much of a degenerate gambler or a man named Ron Slay you have to be to make a bet on a preseason game? I guarantee you he's got a bet on it. I guarantee it.
I would love to sit here and pile on Ron, but man, I get to the press box every day and I sit there and I go, I might take the over tonight, just for fun, just root for points.
Well, and there, so now if mine happens, you may get some points, because what I said is that if either Malik or Traylon Burks has a good game tomorrow night, that one of them is going to get traded before the season starts.
Yeah, that was a shot.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right, I can hear maybe the Malik Willis thing. I don't think Traylon Burks is going to get traded. I think that's a little bit bold there. Malik, real possibility, because I still think as good of a camp as he's had, they paid Mason Rudolph for a reason, and so Mason Rudolph is probably still your QB2. And if you can't keep Malik as the QB3, or you don't see a purpose for it, maybe there's somebody out there willing to give up a little bit of value for him.
Well, and so with that, and you've seen everything, you saw how Traylon has done this during the two joint practices and everything like that. Malik is getting the start tomorrow night. What are you reading into that, the fact that he's going to be starting with the twos?
For me, I do think it's just a well-deserved opportunity for Malik. He's put in a lot of work this offseason. He's made some improvements and strides to get better. For me, I think this is a chance for Brian Callahan, Rand Carthon, and the Titans to assess where Malik Willis is compared to Mason Rudolph. And, it can be difficult to do that in practice at times when Mason Rudolph is playing with the twos and against the twos, and Malik Willis is playing with the threes and against the threes. They did a little bit of a flip-flop during the practice week earlier this week, and Mason Rudolph started, picking up first down after first down against the third-team defense. So, it has felt relatively even between Rudolph and Willis up to this point in camp, but I think the question that's looming is, how does Malik look if he's going against a better defense? And inversely, how does Malik look if he's got some better pass catchers, out there for him? Because so far he's been working with guys who are not going to make this team, but I do think we could see him tomorrow night playing with a handful of Titans players that are going to be on the roster, even if it's not the starters per se.
He is Sam Phalen of A to Z Sports, joining us on 104.5 The Zone.
Well, Sam, I guess I want to ask you, when head Coach Callahan said that the ones won't be playing, do you think he should have kind of quantified that out? Is it going to be first rounders out there? Latham's not playing either, or Sweat, or I'm not sure where we at with that, or just none of those guys because of the scrimmage and the practicing with the Seahawks the last 2 days.
Yeah, I think he left the whole no starters playing a little bit open-ended because he said maybe a couple of guys.
Gotcha.
But I don't necessarily expect to see them. I do think they're leaning towards just not playing a majority of their starters. I think that could be a mistake for some of these guys, but I know Brian Callahan, very conscientious right now of how tired the Titans seem to be. He brought up how going into Thursday, guys had dead legs before practice even started. They cut yesterday's practice short by like 15 minutes. Guys are pretty worn out. And obviously, what you don't see as a fan and what you certainly understand as a player, Blaine, is that a joint practice at this speed is basically playing a game. Maybe a little bit less so of wear and tear on your body, but you do it back-to-back days, you feel like you got hit by a truck here. So for the Titans to turn around and have to play another preseason game on Saturday, and with the amount of injuries that I think they stacked up on Thursday, I mean, Brian Callahan went down a laundry list of 5 or 6 guys that were either injured or pulled from practice out of precautionary reasons with a potential injury. I think that is kind of his reason for pumping the brakes a little bit on just playing all of his starters and try to give them a little bit of rest before the final preseason week.
Kind of a compounded question here. Who do you think won the 2 days? And kind of give us your perspective and why, and who stood out and who did not? Give us one on each offense and defense.
Yeah, I would give – so I think if we're going by team, I would give maybe Seattle a very slight advantage, but I do really think both defenses won the practice. Gotcha. It was a defense-dominated day. The Titans had a little bit of trouble with DK Metcalf, who certainly seemed to have his way, but we have to keep in mind that there's no L'Jarius Sneed, no Cheeto Awuzie. At times, there was no Roger McCreary out there for the Titans. So you were really dealing with cornerbacks 5, 6, 4 guarding DK Metcalf, and that's a problem for any defense in the league. If you're on your 4th best corner guarding one of the game's top receivers, he's probably going to get you for a few. I think the Titans did a really good job controlling the line of scrimmage. They bottled up Kenneth Walker really well, got a lot of pressure at Geno Smith and Sam Howell, and really it started with Jeffrey Simmons and Tavondre Sweat on the interior defensive line. Both of those guys shined. I thought Otis Reese was somebody who stepped up after filling in for Kenneth Murray on Thursday. Murray was held out of practice for precautionary reasons with some hamstring tightness. Otis Reese stepped in alongside Jack Gibbons with the first-team defense and seemed to be making a lot of plays. So he certainly stood out for me. Offensively for the Titans, it felt like they never were really able to get something downfield. The offensive line did a good job run blocking. Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard are going to be such a formidable duo, and I'm really excited for them this year, especially with how this offensive line has looked run blocking. But over the last 2 days against Seattle, there wasn't a ton of deep, explosive passes. We talked at length already about how both times Will Levis took a shot for Calvin Ridley on Wednesday. It was incomplete. Calvin Ridley said he wasn't running all the way to go and get the ball. But the one guy who did make plays was Jaquan Jackson, the rookie wide receiver out of Tulane. Jaquan Jackson had 2 plays that were shallow slants, just like 5, 6, 7-yard routes that he caught the ball and 75 yards by every defender just running all the way home. That's why the Titans drafted him, his ability to make a play with the ball in his hands, and we saw a lot of that. On a day that really nobody on the offense stepped up for a big play, Jaquan Jackson did, and when you're looking for one of those guys to sort of step up at the back end of that wide receiver room, I think he did himself a lot of favors towards making this team.
No doubt about it. We're on with Sam Phalen with the A to Z Sports. I have one more, and that would be, should the Titans pursue a pass rusher? And if they did, what do you think they should give up?
I mean, I would absolutely say yes. You know, you look at the depth on this team right now, and I think the weakest part of the Titans roster is their depth at edge rusher. You know, behind Harold Landry and Arden Key, they don't really have much, and then you're factoring in Arden Key won't be out there for 6 games, as far as we know, with his suspension by the NFL. And the rest of this group has not looked all that inspired to me in practices. So they need to do something. You know, I think a lot of Titans fans are calling for the big play right now at going and getting a Hassan Reddick. I'm not sure that's realistic or something the Titans really want to entertain right now. But there should be a lot of viable NFL caliber pass rushers that come available in the next few weeks as cuts are made around the league. And that's where I would look if I was the Titans, to use some of the cap space that you have available right now to bring in 1 or 2 of those veteran guys to, you know, give yourself some depth in that room. You know, you like what Jalen Harrell has done at the position as a rookie. You know, Shane Ray, I guess, was impressive about a month ago, and I think his stock has come down in the weeks since. I haven't really been all that impressed by him, and I haven't seen a huge jump from a Caleb Murphy or, you know, some of the other UDFAs. So it's really, you know, Jalen Harrell and Rashad Weaver as your outside linebacker options after Arden Key. I would like to see a couple other NFL vets, and there should be some available. Like, guys get cut all the time this time of year for cap reasons and whatnot. So there should be guys available, and I think Rand Carthon should be as aggressive as possible to add some experienced depth to this room.
All righty, you got Sam Phalen from A to Z Sports.
Yeah, absolutely, Sam. You mentioned the Arden Key thing, and I know that we heard about this a couple of weeks ago, but why have we still not seen anything from the NFL?
Well, Arden Key is currently fighting his suspension. I'm not really sure what the details of his argument or fight look like, but you know, what we know right now is that he is opposing the suspension. He is not commenting on the suspension when speaking with the media whatsoever, and the league has not officially made an announcement. So as far as we know, we're going off the idea that Arden will be suspended for 6 games to start the regular season. But, I mean, you never know. It feels hard to believe that the NFL would overturn a ruling like this, but it does surprise me that we have not heard anything yet.
Well, and the other thing that we've gotten a lot of questions for today on the F&M Bank chat is just, you know, we're putting a lot into these joint practices and who's doing good and who's not. But from what you've seen at practice and obviously through the offseason, but how good is this Seahawks team actually going to be in your opinion?
I mean, I think the Seahawks team is really, really competitive, specifically defensively. Defensively, they've got a really good secondary. I mean, I think everybody there at joint practices was really impressed with Reek Woolen and the job that he did against Calvin Ridley. We all know about Devin Witherspoon and the cornerback that he is. They've got a real good defensive front, Boye Mafe, among some other really good players up there. And keep in mind, a new head coach in Mike McDonald, who comes from the Baltimore Ravens defensive scheme that Denard Wilson comes from. Like, this is a punch-you-in-the-mouth defense. And it's been a really aggressive and challenging scheme for the Titans to try and game plan for offensively, particularly in the red zone like they were yesterday. So I think with the Seahawks, it all kind of comes back to what their quarterback can do. Geno Smith was really, really good in 2022 with new offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. Took a little bit of a step backwards last year And then Shane Waldron now goes ahead over to Chicago and takes the offensive coordinator job there. A defensive head coach comes in, a lot of coaching changes in Seattle. So if Geno Smith can return to 2022 form, I think this is a playoff team in Seattle. But, there's still a big question mark at QB there.
Well, and also, as you were talking about Jaquan Jackson, Dewey just hit us on the F&M Bank chat and says, I'm starting to get a man crush on Jaquan Jackson. I know that Blaine has talked about how much he likes David Martin Robinson, the tight end there. For me, I'm over here just loving Josh Wiley. Do you have a training camp crush that you're just focusing on this year because he keeps doing so well?
Oh, man, that's fun. So my crush with the Titans all the time right now is Tavondre Sweat because he was my draft crush that winds up here in Nashville. And so I really get happy and enjoy watching him play football. But I think if you're talking camp alone, it's hard for me to ignore Chance Campbell and the camp that linebacker Chance Campbell has had. He was somebody that just flashed all the time in these team periods, filling run gaps successfully and being really aggressive downhill. Titans fans saw what he was capable of in that preseason opener against the 49ers. He led the team with 7 tackles. He had a sack in that game. He had a tackle for loss in that game. He sealed the game with the game-winning interception in the fourth quarter. And that really carried over to joint practices. Everything about Chance Campbell has impressed me. And what I'm most excited about is how he fits in the Denard Wilson defense. Like, coming out of Ole Miss, the story on Chance Campbell was freak athlete that maybe doesn't know exactly how to play linebacker just yet at the NFL level. But that's kind of what the Titans are looking for out of a guy like Campbell in their defense, is somebody who is freakishly athletic with good length and size, can get downhill and pop a running back in the hole. And that's kind of been the message that the inside linebackers coach Frank Bush and defensive coordinator Denard Wilson have told me about Campbell. He just fits what they like to do defensively. A guy that is finally fully healthy. I think he's my training camp crush.
All right. Well, he is Sam Phalen, A to Z Sports, here on 104.5 as he joins us right now.
Well, Sam, what do you think about the battle at right guard? Rupchick and Radens? Because, man, I think this may go down to the wire.
Yeah, it's a legitimate competition at this point. I think a lot of Titans fans sort of anointed Dylan Radens as the right guard once Sadiq Charles had his surprise retirement. And, there was reason for that. Radens is still the favorite. He is the exceptional athlete. He has the ability to pull probably better than Rupcich does, which is what they like to do with their guards in this offense. And I think that works to Radens' advantage. But Andrew Rupcich got a lot of action for the Titans at the end of the year last year and played some really good football, particularly in run blocking. So he has worked in with the ones just as much as Radens has. And I think this is completely up in the air. If I had to place my money on it, I would say Radens still is probably the man for the job. But I'm not ready to rule out Andrew Rupcich at all. And if I had to guess, I would have guessed that we're seeing both of those guys in the preseason game tomorrow night.
No doubt about it. Last question here is, what are you looking forward to in this final home preseason game for the Titans?
I am really just excited to see extended look at Malik Willis and what he can do with the twos. It really is. We talked about it at the beginning of the segment here, but a well-deserved opportunity for Malik, who I think overall has had his best training camp in the Titans uniform. And it feels like a make-or-break evening for him. It feels like, you have a big game, and this QB2 conversation becomes a real conversation. You don't get it done, and you're probably on the outside looking into the roster, and his Titans tenure comes to an end. So it's high stakes for Malik, but how does he answer the bell? I'm excited to see that.
Man, you didn't put any pressure or anything on him going into tomorrow night. This is a make or break, man. I mean, wow. You made me start to sweat just saying that. So, all right.
I mean, he knows what's at stake here, man. Like, preseason, this is an audition, and you're on year 3 as a third-round pick quarterback. You only get so many shots in this league. So Malik is quickly starting to run out of shots. But, if he can come out and have a preseason effort where he turns a lot of heads and looks well improved with the second line, I think not only will the Titans be more intrigued, but like you mentioned, Joe, a potential of, hey, does Malik Willis get traded before the season? I think you might find 31 other teams looking and seeing if they can find room to roster Malik Willis.
All right, he is Sam Phalen, A to Z Sports, and we appreciate you you hopping on with us, man, as you've been doing everything for A to Z. Obviously, follow him on X at Sam_Phalen, bro. We really appreciate it, man.
All right, guys. Appreciate it as always.
Absolutely. Dang, I mean, he made me start to sweat. Just, I mean, you don't talk about pressure. Man, probably just sitting over in St. Thomas right now, and he just got like a shiver up his spine because he doesn't even know why. Looking over his shoulder because he has no clue what's going on. All right,
relish the pressure.
Ooh, you got to.
This is easy like Wheezy.
Absolutely. Yeah, a matter of fact, and even doing says, don't forget Brock Purdy was a number 3 on the depth chart at one point in time. So that means that next thing you know, Levis is going to be done for a minute. Mason's going to go down, and Malik Willis is going to lead us to a Super Bowl game.
Yeah, except 3 years later.
615-737-1045. As we wrap this up, we come back. He's the Hitman Blaine Bishop. I'm Joe Hunk, brought to you by All Four Seasons Garage Doors on 1045 The Zone.
Hey, this is Blaine Bishop. I want to know if you have heard about peptides. And peptides are shaking up the fitness world. They are naturally occurring aminos in our body. And as we age, they start to decline. And at some point, they may need to be supplemented. This is why our workouts can stop being productive at the gym. So maybe you feel like you've hit a wall or perhaps feel tired all the time. You may be struggling to stay awake in the evenings after you get home from work. Well, if you have this thought that this is just a normal part of aging, it doesn't have to be that way. I started noticing the energy when I get home, even when I was on the show and I wasn't falling asleep when I got home. And I had already heard about the peptides at the station a long time ago. So I finally went to Edge Peptide to see what all the fuss was about. I learned a lot about what was going on in my body from the blood panel they gave me. They customized a plan specifically to my needs and what my body was lacking. And now I've noticed all the energy and the mental focus, especially here on the show all the time, even here with Big Joe. Yeah, Joe on the go. No, not Joe on the go. Joe with the mohawk. Yes. So when you go to Edge, you will know exactly what is going on inside of your body and what it needs to get back to peak performance. So feel better from the inside out. So go to edgepeptide.com. Yes, that's edgepeptide.com, or you can just give them a call at 615-724-1878. That's 724-1878.
Blaine, as we're wrapping up here on 104.5, The Zone, 615-737-1045, and of course brought to you every single day by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. I got worried about Blaine because it's not like Blaine to like ever be late, like at all.
Yeah.
Today.
Oh yeah.
I mean, ever.
He was worried about it.
I was worried about you.
Yeah,
because
I saw you text me. You're like, "Are you okay?" I hadn't seen it. I had to come the streetway.
Yeah, because normally, like I get here early just because I'm paranoid.
Yeah.
But normally Blaine's here at about like 11:30 every single day.
Yeah.
And so today it's about 10 or 12:50, and I'm going, Blaine? Like, where you at, Blaine?
Oh man.
And
65 was, I don't know what was going on. I think it's still going on. You know, a lot of people. I went the street where I exit Old Hickory, and then I came up Granny White. Yeah,
and I didn't think anything about it until Jen hopped into F&M Bank Chat, which you can do the exact thing by going and watching Zone TV on YouTube, Facebook, X, as well as Twitch. And she says, tell Don, Slay, and Brent to not take 65 North at all. It's a parking lot all the way from Franklin.
Yep.
And because there's a huge accident.
Oh, I saw it getting real bad. I was like, uh-oh. I think I just need to avert.
Abort! Abort mission!
Abort, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So I was like, well, man. And it still took me 50 minutes, so because the streetway, you got stops, lights, all that crap. But yeah, and I got here literally, about 30 seconds before we went on air.
Yeah, I was like paranoid. Like I was already talking to Reed, like, all right, man, this is what we're going to do right now. Blaine somewhere. We need to figure out what's going on. So be it. I mean, I had no clue.
I'm glad I exited, though.
Oh, you would have been here. You would have been here until we would have talked to Sam Phalen.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Dave Wyman, we found out, did not stand us up.
He didn't show up, so that's calling a stand up.
But there's a reason.
There's no reason.
Okay.
What was the reason?
The reason is they called an early production meeting with Seattle. And so it was during the time that he said he was available for us.
Oh.
And so that was what it was, because he just texted Reed a few minutes ago because he had just gotten out of it like maybe 2 minutes ago.
Oh, he couldn't text during that meeting, huh?
No, he definitely couldn't because
his phone was going straight to voicemail.
Exactly.
And matter of fact, so Don and Brent just texted.
Oh, they're late and they said we can just hold on for a second.
So we may be going an extra few minutes. Just curious.
Okay.
It may be.
We got you
just
back.
Slay. It's Slay. Yep. It could be just Slay and Zeph for a few minutes because they are on 65 North right now.
No,
crap! I probably should have said that.
There goes Zeph right there.
All right, Zeph, get ready. Batter up, my friend.
I don't think so. He's walking around looking for him, and I think he's like, "Where are they?"
Oh, no, that's what he's doing. Dude, I almost went to the parking lot.
He was already walking outside when I came back from the bathroom.
Do you see them? I haven't seen them. I haven't heard from them. Don't know what's going on.
We'll hold the fort, man, because that's what we do.
Just kick our feet up, and we'll just sit here and talk about the fact that Evan McPherson just got himself a new deal.
I'll act like Ron Slay. Watch this. You act like Don.
Okay.
And read your Brent.
Yeah, you're Brent. So, yeah. So
I was going to give you the lady, but no.
Get out of the left lane. That's the fast lane. Dang it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so Don's like that, too?
I'm not hating
that one either. I definitely, I think we on the same plane on that one.
Absolutely. She hates. That's if there's ever a pet peeve.
That is my pet peeve.
It's it. So, yeah. So, that's what it should. That's what it's going to be. So, just letting you know. I mean, they may be on cell phone. We'll get them on like Zoom and wait, is that legal?
Can they Zoom? Just Zoom? No. Like if they put it in the passenger seat and it just is looking at them while they're driving, as long as they focus on the.
Oh, that's absolutely what everybody does when they have a Zoom meeting that they totally forget about. Absolutely. We getting some messages.
Pull over. What's going on 65?
And so Taylor says that's Blaine's payback to Don for the headset.
What happened?
I have no clue what he's talking about.
Because I would sit her headset right here. I stopped doing it though, and I'll just turn the volume up because I don't put on headsets.
No.
And so I'll use hers because it's sitting here, and I'll just turn the volume up, and I'll forget to turn it back down because I'll just walk away, and then she'll pick it up and be like, "Oh my God, my ears!" So I just,
Blaine, are you deaf?
So she told me finally, probably after she complained about it, it's hey, could you just turn my volume down when you get up and leave? So I just said, okay, sure, my bad. I didn't even think about it.
Have some ideas as far as what 3HL can do if they're stuck in traffic. Order a pizza. They could order a pizza and have it delivered on the other side of the road and the guy pulls over and just hops right over the barricade if they're stuck right there in traffic. They can do that.
Oh, well.
Order a pizza.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to be ordering pizza because we got to go.
We absolutely have to go. So we're looking right now at Reed because Reed's like, I thought you guys were hanging out for a little while. I was just going to just keep going.
I think Bananas is getting nervous out there. I see him pacing.
We're trying to help 3HL out. All right, So we're going to see how many of the 3 of 3HL is going to be here whenever we come back. If not, you're going to have Blaine and myself as...
And Bananas and Reed. We're about to create a whole new show.
It's going to be a whole new group
It's about
effort.
to get helter-skelter.
That's it. But just make sure that you keep listening. Monday, we'll be back, recap what's happening or what happened between the Seahawks and the Titans. But in the meantime...
And in between time, peace.